welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Bree. Thank you so much for watching and make sure you're subscribed. If you are returning, hey girl, hey, you know the vibes. Let's get into it. It's been a while. I've been gone for a little bit. We'll talk about it in another video. But today, I'm going to be doing a get ready with me video showing you guys some of like the viral TikTok, social media, trendy makeup products that the girls are using that I'll be using in this video, that how I got this look because it's looking real good. So make sure y'all stay tuned for all that, and everything will be linked in the description box below. And then I'll be walking through y'all some of my tips and some of my just like I'm no longer doing. So what we not gonna do no more. So if you want to see how I achieved this makeup look using all the viral sensation things, make sure that y'all stay tuned and keep watching. Subscribe, like the video, comment below, start some conversations. You know what I'm saying? I know I love talking to y'all. And let's get into it. Okay, I am super excited to do this video because I think there was a get ready with me on my channel before, but I believe it was a part of like when I was like attempting to do Vlogmas. That was like the only video. So I'm pretty sure I deleted it. Well, I like archived it. So I don't have a get ready with me video, but I've gotten a bunch of new makeup recently. I'm trying out some new stuff. A lot of it's gonna be like a lot of the viral products and things that you see on TikTok and like social media. And I'll be honest with you, since I've switched all of my makeup, I've gotten so many compliments. But even outside the compliments, like I feel really good about my face. Like whenever I'm out and I catch myself like in a mirror or something, I'm like, oh girl, ooh. So yeah, I wanted to, it's like powder. Oh yeah. There's like, you guys can't see, but there's like loose powder on my vanity. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys a video, and I was like, why not come back to YouTube with a get ready with me video? Because, you know, you can do the whole like life updates and things like that. And if you guys care for that, let me know. Like I actually have a lot of content that I just never posted. So if that's something you guys even care to see, let your girl know. And I will put all that content out there. But if not, for today, we're just gonna start off with a get ready with, hold on. It's like something on my camera screen. But if not, for today, we're just gonna start with a get ready with me video showing you guys all the new like viral products, whatever that I use, how I do my face now, like what's my day-to-day. And then I'm gonna be talking to you guys and doing a little bit of what I'm just not doing anymore. Like things like I'm too old to be doing video. I'm probably gonna give you guys like 7 steps because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna say yet. Like I have a couple things that I know for sure I wanna hit on, but I think there's probably gonna be like 7 major things that I'm like, at my big age, we're just not doing anymore. we're just not doing it, right? So let's go ahead and get started. And if I forget to mention any other products that I'm using while I'm talking, I'll just make sure that I put a picture of it or whatever in the screen, and then everything will be listed in the description box below. So let's get started. I am moisturized already, like my skin. I just got out of the shower. So my skincare routine is like completely done. Oh, if anyone cares, I got this black robe at Target. So I am starting off with the new viral primer. This is a Power Grip primer by e.l.f. 10 out of 10. When I tell y'all, I'm gonna have to move my little stringies. I'm not a primer girl. I don't even know how to apply primer. I'm about to put this on like it's like it's moisturizer, because I really have no idea how to apply primer. But when I tell y'all this right here, Power Grip, strong, like real grip. This stuff right here is good. Definitely grips my makeup very, very well. I've never used a primer before because I never really understood the point, because none of them really did anything for me. Until I got this one and I was like, oh girl, So I put that on first, and then I know a lot of the girlies have been like switching up their routines where like they do their face first. Where's the lid to this? Where like they do their face first and then they come back and do their eyebrows. No ma'am. My eyebrows, my eyebrows are definitely going to be next. So, yeah, I'm using the Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. I don't know why my camera, there we go. And now y'all can see that. And then I'm using the Anastasia Brow, whatever this is called. This is Beverly Hills number 12. I am like a makeup girly without really technically, like, I'm not a professional makeup girly, right? So I don't know all the names and stuff like that. A little bit about me, I think it's in my bio or whatever. Like, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm 27. I will be 28 in 2 months in April. Shout out to all the April babies. Shout out to all the Tauruses. And a big shout out to all the Taurus April babies. Y'all know, y'all already noticing, okay? Anyways, I'm like, I'm about to be 28. And I'm taking like the last like week off of social media because I felt like I was like needing to really tend to myself in a bit of like a transitional period, and I wasn't focusing on that. So I was like, girl, take a minute to listen to your inner self. Like, what are we saying right now? Like, what are we saying? Because I really felt this time last year, I went through a bit of like a kind of a major transformation. Like, I relaunched my brand. I started my YouTube. I was starting a podcast at the time. This time, like this year round, it feels very stagnant. That was bothering me more than anything. Like last year, I felt like such like a power woman. Like I felt so accomplished, and I felt like I had motion, as this generation calls it, right? Like I felt like I was really moving. And now I don't feel like I'm moving, girl. And I was like, you know what? What's going on? I feel like I'm not focused on the right things. I feel like I'm losing my motivation. Essentially, like fulfilling my purpose and focusing on what it is I'm supposed to be doing. And, you know, and I'm wanting more from the outside world right now, rather than just like satisfying myself in things that I can control. So I did some like inner reflection, and I was like, you know what? I took this time to realize like there are things that I want in life and how I want to behave, and kind of reflected on 2022. I did a whole bunch of reflection on 2022 this past week, really since this year started. And like, and what changes do I want to make this year? Like, what is it? A lot of, to be honest with you, when I make like yearly goals and like personal goals, it's not always about like, oh, new job or more money and things like that. I do a lot of inner work reflection during that time of like New Year's resolutions. And I want to focus on like, what can I change about me? From there, I realized things that I'm not doing anymore and what I'm putting up with. So here's my list of things that we are just too old to be dealing with. And me specifically, I'm talking about me, I ain't talking about none of y'all. You know, if this resonates with you, good. If not, this is just my list of like things I'm not putting up with anymore, and I'm just too old to be dealing with. Let's start off with the list being light and fun. Let's start off like that. Starting with the list being light and fun, I'm not going to the club anymore without a section. That's just silly. And I'm gonna tell y'all, and this is not me trying to be bougie or whatever. Blame the fact that I lived in Atlanta, and Atlanta spoiled me for a lifestyle of being in sections. Because it was like, I never not knew anybody in like, wasn't in a section. You know what I'm saying? Like, I moved to Atlanta when I was 22, fresh out of college. Never really have been like in a section like that in my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, hey, we went to parties and stuff like in high school, but like being in a section or whatever, like in a club for like on a grown level, like an adult level, I didn't experience that obviously until like I moved to Atlanta. And it's definitely a different vibe than when you're like on the floor, like when you're on the ground. So I remember like first moving to Atlanta and just being at the club, like real, you know, real regular, whatever, no section, at the club, totally fine. And then I remember that first time like ever I got into a section, the lifestyle's just different. It's like flying first class. Like it's the whole experience is entirely different. And I am not saying like, oh, I need to be in a section because it's like, oh, it's a matter of like flexing or anything. Let me tell y'all why I feel like I would not go to the club without being in a section. That lined out so good. I will not go to the club without being in a section. For one, I am too old to be standing in the middle of somebody's club floor where people are bumping into each other, stepping on my toes, people running, like just rubbing all up against me. People are hot, it's sweaty. I did not spend all this time on doing my makeup or spend all this money on this makeup to be sweating it out on the middle of somebody's floor at somebody's club. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'd rather be up in a section. Like, that's the main reason, number one. I'm just not, I don't like being bumped into. I want to be able just to be with my people. I don't, like, you know, it gets a little wild depending on the type of club that you're at and you're on the floor. People are just trying to grab you and talk to you or whatever. And it's like, oh, child, like, this is too much. But I'm just trying to, you know, be out with my girls or whatever and have a good time. Number two is that because of the type of things that I want to do really requires me to have a section. Like if I want to go out, like especially like if you live in Atlanta, like if I want to order a bottle, if I want to keep ordering multiple drinks, it's so much easier to do when you're in a section and you have a bartender that is specifically assigned to your section. If I want to order food, because if you know me, I'm going out to the club, baby, and I'm ordering a 10-piece lemon pepper extra wet. Yes, and I'm eating them right in the middle of the club, in my section. But I'm not going to do that in the middle of the floor. That's insane. I'm gonna want a hookah. You can't order a hookah in the middle of the floor. So it's just like the way that I want to experience my night requires me to have a section or seating in general to do so. It's just like also like, child, I am just not standing there burning my toes for like 3-4 hours, whatever, however long we're in the club, like 3 hours. I'm not doing it. I'm not burning my feet. Like, oh my God, feet gonna be hurting. The next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Stay, and the next day, and the next day.
So 2-0 for that. I'm not like, do not invite me out to the club unless like we are getting a section. And here's the thing, like I'm not being like, oh, somebody's got to pay for this section. Like I'm about to be all up in somebody's section. No, if me and my friends want to go out, if it's just me and my homegirls or it's a mixture of my homegirls and my homeboys, it doesn't matter. If we going out to the club, I'm most likely gonna ask you, are we gonna get a section, or am I gonna have a table? Like, are we gonna have a table? Standing in the middle of the floor is just not it for me. I'm definitely willing to put in. Let's get that settled, or let's find somewhere that has, you know, availability to go to the club and have better seating, because I'm just not standing there in the middle of the club. Call me bougie if you want to. I'm just not at that age anymore. Like I had my clubbing years. I went to college. You know, even when a couple times places when you go out in Atlanta, like I'm not always getting a section because it could be a little crazy. But it's like, you know, you're gonna know somebody that got a section and you're gonna figure it out. It's not hard. It's really not hard. To once you make connections and stuff like that. I'm not the type to just like, oh, go try to. I'm not like one of those girls that will squeeze into somebody's section. I'm not doing that. That's entirely no. Or even if it's like, oh, I might know them, I'm gonna get in their section. No, unless they've invited me to be in their section, I'm not even about to play around in nobody's section, because I wouldn't want somebody to do that for me to be, because sections are expensive. So I'm not gonna play around with nobody's seating and stuff like that. And I just realized it, like that was the first time I had been to a club without having a section, and I was like, oh sweetheart, like never again. And that was me just having, oh my God, I used the wrong one. That was really just me like talking to me, but it was just like, girl, I'm never doing this again. Never doing this again. I'm never going out and not having a section. Like that is just insane activity. Here we go. What else? Number 2, Airbnbs. Just not doing it. Unless it's like I'm going out of the country. And you know, obviously like some Airbnbs across the country are like really nice and a lot better sometimes than their hotels that I've heard, depending on where you're traveling to. I understand that. But if we are going anywhere inside of the United States of America, I'm not booking an Airbnb. I'm paying almost double the price of a hotel, but less of the experience in terms of like, I want to be able to have room service. I want housekeeping to come and turn the room around. Like there are certain things that I want that I ultimately am not going to get in Airbnb service, but they're going to charge you double the price. Cleaning service is already included in the hotel. Like why in the hotel pricing? Why am I paying for an additional cleaning service when I booked a place? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Plus all the hidden cameras and things like that to me just don't make me feel very comfortable as much as I would like when I book a hotel. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it unless for some reason like it's not possible for us to get a hotel, or the Airbnbs are actually way nicer than the hotels and the experience will be better because of that. But I'm just not doing Airbnbs the way they are these days. Absolutely not. For my eyebrows, I am using Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, Sucre, Dior. It's the medium dark 1.5. I used to use this on my under eyes. I didn't get a bright enough color, and I don't really 100% love the coverage on this. Don't love. So I only use this on my eyebrows nowadays. Repeating myself. Because why would I say it twice? Because if I gotta say it twice, I'm not gonna say it nice. Let's be real about it. Like, because I know you heard me the first time. Because your ears work very well. And your learning comprehensions are just as well. Like, no reason I'm out here speaking twice to somebody who works a full-time job. And even those of you who might have got a degree. So I know you can hear. And I know you can understand. And this ain't no math equation on what I be saying. So, of course, the viral Makeup by Mario. I am the color 18W. I'm in love with this. Y'all hear me? If there's any hype that y'all need to believe the Makeup by Mario hype. Believe it. Become a believer. So anyways, I'm just not doing it anymore. If I have to express to you how, whether it's I don't care if it's friends, I don't care if it's a relationship, I don't care who you are. If I have to express myself to you twice on how I feel about something or a situation or you in general, it just ain't meant to happen. I'm good, I'm gone, I'm out. Like, that's it. Like, one thing I've learned, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, let them play dumb. They heard you the first time. Let them play dumb. They heard you the first time. And if they didn't hear you, it's because they chose not to listen. And that's on them. This ain't no Aaliyah record, baby. We not going back and forth. We not. Get somebody else to do it. Yeah, we're just not doing it. We're not. I'm not. Let me speak for myself. I am not going back and forth with nobody about nothing. I also dermaplaned my face before I started. So I have a baby, like, soft, smooth skin right now. Love it. And my brushes are actually fairly clean. I've only used these twice. It's my third time. And then I'll probably wash them after this, because one thing I've learned is that I love a clean brush look. So I wash my brushes after like 3 times of using my makeup or so. We're not going to keep repeating ourselves. We're just not going to keep telling people how we want to be treated. We're not going to keep telling people our concerns with them. I've just chosen to ignore them. And like, number 2 takes me into number 3, which is like, if we are talking about real life, like soft girl energy, soft girl lifestyle, I am not getting out of character with y'all anymore. Like, raising my voice, going off, like, this is something that I actually started in 2022, but I'm like, this is something that I'm learning to carry with me in 2023. My camera is going to overheat and piss me off. Number 3, we're not getting out of character. If we're talking about real, like, soft girl energy, soft girl lifestyle, what we're not going to do is start yelling. What we're not going to do is start going back of, like, getting out of line and getting out of our tone and getting out of our essence of who we are as women, or me specifically, who I am as a woman, how I literally choose to conduct myself and carry myself. I'm not letting you get me out of that character anymore. There's nothing cute, sexy about that, going off on somebody, anybody. I'm just not doing it. If you don't hear what I'm saying, then you can take my silence as your answer. If you don't hear it when I'm talking to you like this, you're not going to hear it at all, because I refuse. I'm not going to say hurtful things to you. I'm not going to get out of line. I'm just not. It all points to the answer being no. Just not doing it. And I've been doing this a lot lately and practicing this with people, which is so funny, because somebody will say something that makes me want to, like, pop off, but because I know that I'm in this space of like, oh girl, we're not doing that no more, I get like quiet. And so like they'll say that, and like my face will just be like, and I'm just like nodding, and they'll be like, why aren't you saying anything? Because I'm now in this phase where it's like, because I'm not popping off, I haven't decided how to react yet, so I just don't. So I just sit in silence. So they'll be like, rah, 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 or whatever, and I'm just like, it's like someone took the remote of my life and paused me. And it was like, oh. And so now I'm just like frozen until they're done. And then it's like, okay, then I'm removing myself from the conversation or whatever. But that is my new response. And it's kind of hilarious, because in my mind is like, oh, freeze, girl. And so that's literally what I'm doing. And I'm like, don't even go there, sis. Just freeze. Just, because we're not even going to. Because, and one thing I've told a lot of people with this, And one thing that I realized for myself, that it is actually 10 times more like exhausting and draining when you pop off on somebody than it is to just walk away and let them actually be lower than you, and realize that somewhere that you would have to steep to, it's that will hurt my knees to get down that low. My knees ain't even good enough to get that low on your level. So I'm not going there with you. It's just not going to happen. So with that being said, my new response is just to stare at you and just be like, it almost make you feel like you're insane. Because why would you say that? Or why do you think that's going to get a response out of me, baby girl or baby boy? Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, and no matter what, I am not getting out of character with you. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna have to be okay with the fact that my silence is gonna be the only response you get if you don't know how to address me properly as the woman that I am, and as softly as I'm now speaking with you. But I'm also going to create a space that allows anyone to come and talk to me and have a conversation with me because of that. Because I want them to know that, like, Bree's not gonna just spaz out on me. Bree's not gonna, no matter what I want to come and say. I can't say I want people to be honest with me and be open with me if I don't create that space for them to do that. So, but I'm also not creating a space to go back and forth with you about something if you don't hold yourself accountable to your actions. Okay, if you find yourself getting out of character and think you're gonna pop up on me and say something crazy to me, okay, I'm not going there with you. We are no longer matching energy. Like, I'm elevating and moving on. I'm sorry, that's just where I am. I'm too old to be like, I'm gonna match energy. I'm gonna match energy in other ways, but not if you choose to be immature, you lack accountability, you lack self-control. I'm not matching that energy. Why would I match that energy? Now we look like two fools. Child, there's only gonna be one fool, and my mama didn't raise one. So just so y'all can see, I had to pause because my camera was gonna overheat a little bit, but I just finished pretty much blending out all of my foundation. I'll do my concealer. Yeah, I'm gonna do my concealer. And for my actual under eyes, I use the Hourglass concealer. I do a couple shades lighter than I probably should, but I really like a bright under eye. And this is in the color Dune, Vanish. What is Dune, Vanish, or just Dune? But yeah, I use Hourglass. Concealer, 10 out of 10. Love it. Literally love it. Love. Oh, number 4 is that, like, may sound like not necessarily contradicting 2 and 3, but I'm also like, I'm done not speaking up. Like, one thing that I'm not doing anymore is like holding my silence when I should speak up. I noticed that, like, if I get my nails done, or if I get my toes done, or my hair or something, and I don't think it looks exactly the way that I want it to, at times I don't say anything. I just won't say anything. Like, I've noticed that the past couple times of me getting my toes and like my nails done, it's like I'll go home and I'll be like, girl, like, I don't like this, or like, this is not good, you know, or something, and I just wish that I would have spoken up about it, and I didn't. I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I want to speak up where it matters. Like, even when it comes to maybe work or whatever, and like I said, how you feel. Like, I'm not going to sound like a broken record, and I'm not going to get out of character. So we're not going to go against 2 or 3. But in number 4, we are going to speak up on how we feel, because nothing changes if you don't say anything. You know, that's the whole saying of like, a closed mouth don't get fed. And that's very true. Nothing will change. I cannot expect my nail tech or whatever, or these people to just read my mind. And they're going to keep giving you BS if you keep accepting BS and not like confronting them about it, or not speaking your mind on it. Like, we're going to be realistic about it, and we're going to be respectful with people when we talk to them, but we are definitely going to speak up for sure. And I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent honey powder. Just not speak up on things that we disagree on, especially when it's something that we're spending our money on. No, we're not going to be a brat about situations, and we're not going to critique everything, but we are going to hold people accountable in the areas of things that, especially when we're paying for it. Like I said, if I'm paying for my nails, or if I'm paying for you know, my pedicure and I don't feel like the quality is there, I'm gonna speak up about it. For instance, I took myself to dinner the other day. I went to Capitol Grill, which is a pretty nice restaurant. I mean, I went by myself and before tip, my bill was $195. Girl. So trust me, for $195, I'm going to speak up. I'm not one of those girls like those people that you see on social media that will eat all their food and then get to the end and be like, oh, this was not good. No, I'm going to tell you in the middle of it. So I had ordered some oysters, which were fantastic, but then I got the steak and the lobster, and my lobster was overcooked. I'm like, I've made lobster at home before. I love lobster. I get lobster all the time. I was like, I've never had really an overcooked lobster. So I was like, maybe it's just me. So I took a bite and I was like, this is dry. This is really dry. This is so weird. Looked at the bottom of it. It was a little overcooked. And then I was like, I'm going to take one more bite. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm not insane. Like, it's a little overcooked. So I let it sit there and I kind of just nibbled at the steak a little bit. And I got some sides. So I started eating my sides and waiting for my waiter to come back around and just check on me and see how things were. And I told him, and I was like, everything's good. I was like, I will say though that my lobster is a little overcooked. I was like, you know, I was like, steak is great though, but my lobster is little. He was like, okay. He was like, would you like for me to send it back and have, you know, the kitchen make you another one? And I was like, yes, please. And although I felt like, oh my God, am I being a brat? And I felt like that until I got the bill. And I was like, no ma'am. And the steak and lobster by itself for us was $87. So I was like, am I being a brat if I send this back? Like, is he gonna think that I'm one of those people? I was like, you know what? Stop caring about what people think. Like, he's not the one paying for my damn dinner. I'm paying for this dinner. If I'm gonna send it back, I didn't eat it though. Like, I guess I took one tiny little bite and another tiny little one just to confirm that it was dry. And then I set it to the side until he came, because I'm not gonna eat it and then make it seem like I'm one of those people that are just sending it back after I ate it because I don't want to pay for it. No, restaurants will do that, and they will sometimes expect you like not to speak up, especially if they, you know, if they think you don't know anything about dining or whatever. And I was there by myself. But I think he was a little shocked that I said that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to send something back because I know what a good lobster tastes like. And this is dry. Girl, it's dry. It's dry.
That chicken was dry. Real dry.
And so he took it back. You know, they made me a new one. The old one stayed there. So I just waited a couple minutes. It was pretty quick. And then he brought me out a new steak. I mean, he brought me out a new lobster. Not dry. I mean, the second lobster, perfect. Ooh, Jesus. If I wouldn't have spoken up, I would have paid $87 for my main course that I would have thought was like a 5 out of 10. Because it was like, yes, although my steak is great, my lobster's not. Like, and that's 50% of my meal, like, of the main course. So I'm just learning to do it in a way that like is like respectful. Like, you can speak up and say how you feel without all of your emotions being attached to it. Like, my waiter did not deserve, and it wasn't going to get any attitude from me in regards to that lobster being dry, because that man didn't make my lobster, you know? And so therefore I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell him, and he was really nice about it. So that's just another thing. It's like, we cannot expect people to read our minds. We cannot expect people to just understand where we're coming from, just because, you know what I mean? If we don't tell them. And that's with everything, like friendships, like I said, relationships. If you have expectations of your friends or your partner or family or whatever it may be, like, we've got to start speaking up about it in a respectful way and let them either choose to comprehend and help correct the issue and hold accountability, or they don't. But at least you tried the first time. Just do number 4, but don't do 2 and 3. Okay? We ain't going back and forth. We're not getting out of character. But we are going to speak up for ourselves. Okay? Okay, and number 5, which I'm not going to spend too much time talking about because I want to kind of make a total, like, separate video about this topic. But caring about being disliked or caring about being liked. Like, either way, I don't care anymore. I don't care in terms of, like, I'm not going to not follow my dreams, or I'm not going to not do as I please because I'm afraid of what somebody else may think. Because I'm afraid of the way that somebody else, you know, because they may not like it, or this may not be perceived well, or I'm afraid of backlash, or not even backlash. I just don't want, I'm afraid of comments, like negative comments, and being insecure about myself or whatever. It's like I've taken a really long time to get to be the woman that I am today, and to get to be the woman that I love myself as today, to allow anyone to care about if someone dislikes me, to care about if anyone even likes me. Like, okay, you don't like me? Okay. You do like me? Great. Like, great. Now we can support each other. Like, if you don't, that's totally fine. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. I don't leave my house enough and interact with people in the world enough for people to actually have a reason to dislike me. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you met me, interacted with me, and it's like, oh, I don't like her. It's just because you just choose to sit in your own household and sit on your couch and whatever. Like, you made that decision. And that's fine, baby. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't nothing to do with me. But I'm no longer caring about people disliking me, because I feel like it's held so many of us back for so long of doing what we actually want to do, because we're afraid of what other people say, what other people think, and how others are going to react. And I'm so tired of that, because I'm watching so many people live carefree and being so successful, doing and just being themselves. I'm like, child, where would I be right now if I stopped caring about what y'all thought a long time ago? My contour is Fenty Beauty, and I am using Truffle. I'm using a pretty darker contour. I'm not caring about what people think. I've done that long enough. I'm about to be 28 years old. Like, how dare I be as grown as I am at my very big age and still care about what other people say about me? What? From far away, I feel like it's making me look like my color doesn't match. It's making me look too light skinned. I think it's the lighting. My windows are up, or my blinds are up. Yeah, so I'm just not doing that anymore, because that also goes into the fact of like me loving myself, and being confident in myself enough to not care about what other people think, and not in a very conceited, overly indulging way. But if that's the way that it has to start, then that's the way it has to start. But it's ultimately just for a self-love kind of way, in terms of like, I'm not going to care about if you like it or not. I can't care about if you like it or not. If it comes down to me versus you, in terms of like me caring whether you like it, or me being successful and pursuing my dreams and ultimately doing what makes me happy, guess what I'm gonna choose? And caring about if somebody likes or dislikes me enough goes way deeper than what I'm just saying, in terms of people's comments or trying to people please. It goes way beyond, to the point of being like, I'm not necessarily here to impress nobody but myself. So if we go out to the club, and let's say I go out to the club, let's say you and I, girl, whoever's watching, we're friends, we go out to the club, and you are getting more attention from people in the club than I am, I don't care. And I don't mean that in a way like trying to be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Mean or nasty, or trying to act like I don't. Like, I'm being dead serious, where I shouldn't care that much, because I don't care whether who likes me or dislikes me. And if I love my friend and you're my friend and I rock with you, it's not going to bother me if we go out to the club and you're getting more attention from people at the club than I do, because that's not where my self-worth and my validation comes from, to care enough if people like me or dislike me. That's why I say it goes both ways. I don't care about who dislikes me the same way I don't care about who likes me in that same, like, okay, I care, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not caring enough about who likes me to where it's going to bother my spirit. If we go out to the club and my friend is the reason why we balling that night, because, oh, people, you know, they want to buy the drinks, they want to buy the bottles, they want to ball out, and it's because they think my friend look good, so be it. If my friend out here getting 50 numbers and I got one, so like, it doesn't it would never bother me, because it's like, yes, friend, eat, because I love myself enough, and I don't care who doesn't like me, and I don't care about random people that I meet that will like me or whatever. My validation does not come from the public to care enough if those who like me or dislike me, right? So that's what I mean. It's way deeper rooted, and I want to make an entire separate video about this on self-love, but it's way deeper rooted than just caring about who likes me or who dislikes me. It's not just on the surface of being like friends or whatever. It's like, no, I don't care. I am okay with it enough to where I can go out with my friends and not envy my friends. I can go out with anybody and be in public, and I don't lose my self-confidence just because maybe other girls or people around me are getting more attention than I am. And this can take a while to get there, because just like, wasn't there like a video or something that went around with like Aisha Curry a long time ago where, sorry y'all, I'm looking for my pencil sharpener, where she did a video and she talked about like going out and like she wasn't feeling sexy, and because like guys don't hit her or anything like that anymore. And definitely when you're a mom and you're married, like, and we're all human, it's so easy to feel like you lost it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, do I still got it? Like, you know what I mean? To where it's like, of course my partner always thinks that I'm attractive. You know what I mean? Like, I get where she was coming from in her regard of like, yes, my partner's gonna think I'm attractive. My partner's gonna think I'm the most beautiful thing in the world. But sometimes you want a little bit of that validation from the outside world to see you as well, which is so normal. And we're not gonna act like that's foreign to think. But I'm in the place where I'm like, I actually don't care about that anymore. Like, I'm not here to expect the public to just drool all over me. Like, that is not the success or the impact that I want to make in life. When I realize the impact that I want to have, it is not for people to drool over me and spend all day and night trying to get at me in my DMs. That's not the validation that I'm even seeking, or even the purpose that I'm trying to fulfill. So at the end of the day, I don't care if people like me or dislike me, but I resonated where Aisha was coming from, because as women, and I think as people, we have all been there. There has been a time, let's be real, y'all, we have all been out maybe with friends or been anywhere in public before, and you feel like you are not, like, you might have really felt like you put that shit on. Like, you at head to toe looking really good, and you were not getting that public sort of validation or recognition that you thought that you would. You've been out before probably and been like, excuse me, why are people not dropping dead like they're at a Michael Jackson concert over me right now? Like, not to that extreme, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you've maybe been out before and like, dang, I'm not pressure tonight. Like, it's other pressure out here. I gotta step my game up, because I'm not the pressure tonight that they looking for. And that's okay. We've all been there. We've all been there. We've all want to, you know, feel that way. And in times like that, like, it's really good to just indulge in yourself. Remember the self-love that you're looking for, and make sure that you are surrounded by love. And the people that are around you are not making you feel like you are less than them when you're with them. And that's really what matters. And I'm gonna give you a bonus one because of what I just said. Number 6 is that I am too old to be hanging around people who make me feel less than them. And that's not even a matter of, some people will be like, that's in your inner work. That's all on you. If you feel less when you come around me, that's on you. And it's like, no. Some people will purposely try to make you feel less than them when you are around him. Let's get that very clear. There is a difference from you wanting to constantly compare yourself to your friends, or people comparing themselves to just the world, and so you feel less than when you come around somebody, you know, or the people, because you don't love yourself enough and you are not confident in yourself enough. But there's a difference if people are verbally or even just physically expressing and hinting at, being passive at, that they are living a better life than you. There's a difference. I would never do that to people. And I know people that are like this. And I will purposely stop hanging around people that are like this. I don't care who you date, who you're with, how much money you got, where you live, what kind of car you drive. I will congratulate you and always root for you as my friend, just because you are my friend. I will have friends that make $12 an hour, and now we'll have friends that have millions. Like, there's a broad spectrum between the people that I hang out with, and both can be great people, and both can be shitty people. Do not get blindsided by the fact that some people will choose to take their luxury in their life to help you out and make themselves seem like a good friend, but also throw shade at the same time. Like, there's so many backhanded compliments that come from people, and those people do that not because you feel less about you. It's because genuinely they feel less about themselves. So what they have to do is constantly acknowledge their worth, their value whenever you're around them. Y'all ever had a friend where y'all just can't have like a regular conversation? Like it's just always about, oh, this amazing thing that I've done. Like this thing, like this amazing thing that I've done. And again, it's not a matter of being a hater that my friend is accomplishing things. No, 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 no. It's just a matter of like, you ever realize those people don't honestly check in on you? You know, like honestly, like let me hear about your life, friend. Let me hear about the great things that you have going on. Are they even creating a safe space for you to talk about the great things that you have going on? I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury pencil. I think this is Foxy Brown. What color? I don't know. I'm 99% sure it's Foxy Brown. Yeah, it's Foxy Brown. And honestly, you guys, like these type of people will be easy to spot. These type of people will be super easy to spot because when they go through something, they disappear. They're ghosts. Don't really want to talk to you, don't necessarily want to 100% even be around you. They don't like you knowing that something bad is happening to them because their personality or their relationship with you is built on them doing better than you. It's built on them being better, being in quotes, not literally, like because they think they are, of them thinking that they're better than you. So when this person is going through something, or maybe this is you, girl. Check your inner self if you're the type of person. But when this person is going through something, they will not ever really reach out to want to hang out. And don't get me wrong, like I'm the same way. Like when I'm going through stuff, I isolate. But I'm not that friend that flaunts my good times in front of your face. And then when I'm going through it, I don't want you to be around me. I don't want you to know and things like that. Like a friend is a friend. A friend is somebody that can support you and be there for you when it's time to cheer. And a friend that's a friend that can also be there for you when it's time to hand you a tissue because you're crying. Like a friend is there to support you good and bad if you're going to call me a friend. But don't call me a friend when it's time to come around and celebrate and flaunt your lifestyle in front of my face. But you can't call me a friend when you got some stuff going on behind closed doors. So what we're also not doing is that we're not hanging around people that purposely try to make us feel less than who we are. Because people will try to make that excuse and say, you are, you know, you're just being self-insecure or whatever. People will try to say like, oh, you need to be more secure within yourself. I should be able to flaunt. Like you living your regular life that happens to be very like nice or whatever is totally different than you flexing your life every time we come around. It's like, oh, you know, I just bought this and like, oh, this amazing thing just happened. And it's like, great. I absolutely adore that for you. But I'm not going to get in specifics into this video because it's a real life situation with multiple people that I used to be friends with in the past that I could talk about, but I'm not. There's just certain things that people will say and just be like, oh, I could never do this, or oh, like, oh yeah, you know, oh well, like you only have this because of XYZ, and it's like, take note. So I'm not a big person that's like big on eyeshadow, so I use this I Love Bloom by Sephora palette, and then I'm using like a mixture of this first one and the second one. I don't even know if they still sell this. I bought this over a year ago. I don't even know where we left off, but pretty much just like what we're not doing going forward at this age, just surrounding ourselves with people like just because, or because of our longevity of our friendship, or because of maybe what we think their intentions like might be. Baby girl, if they are showing us that they are not good people or they don't have good intention, then no. If you don't get really good feelings from being around someone, then don't hang around them. Period, point blank. If they do not make you feel welcomed and at peace and at ease, and like you are not excited to go see these people, whether it's your friends or, you know, if it's your partner, ditch your partner. If it's your family, whatever, just don't choose to hang around people like just because. Like, no. Choose people that you are going to have longevity relationships with that make you feel good. And deny the rest. And in my time of like doing this, I did this a lot starting last year. I've noticed two things. Either those people don't come back around at all, and that's great. You understand where you stand in my life. No hard feelings. I truly wish you well. You just don't belong here. Or they get themselves together because they recognize that their behavior is not something that you need, and that energy is not something that you need. $40? I don't know, Dior. Y'all could drop the price a little bit. But I love it. It smells very like minty. I don't know how to explain it, but it smells really good. with my lip combo, I don't think it does enough for me because my top lip is already naturally like dark. I've always had like a you would think that I line my top lip. I don't know why. It's always been that way. It's always been like darker than my bottom lip, which I've actually grown to love. But with this sort of look, I want my lips a little pinker because of the liner. So I am taking Miss Fenty, the Fenty Cream Lip Gloss. This is in the color Fenty Glow. This is the Gloss Bomb Cream. Woo! And I'm really just using this for the color. I skipped a step. Let's go back. I skipped a couple of steps. Well, my lashes I always do last, but I skipped my blush. I used the Rare Beauty blush in the color Bliss. Like so much. I don't know. I need to get one of those little triangle thingies that the girls use. I honestly use a blush brush, but I feel like I want to get one of those little triangle things that the girls use. But this just works perfect for me because I don't know, it just does. So yeah, so that's pretty much my 5 things. Just that's things I'm just not doing it anymore. And I noticed in this season of like going forward, it's just that like I'm focusing on like developing myself, and there's so many other things that like I'm just not doing at my big age anymore. But those are the things that I wanted to share for fun. And feel free to comment below and let me know what y'all think, if y'all feel the same way. I feel like y'all gonna come at me about the sections thing, but let's be real, like anybody in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, y'all know we not standing in the club. I'm sorry, girls. We not doing it no more. We are just not standing in nobody's club. Y'all know we not. So I feel like y'all come at me about that, and I feel like y'all come at me about Airbnbs. But then again, like I said, with the Airbnbs, it totally depends. Like I said, if you're traveling out of the country, I know, I see all the travel girlies. I know that Airbnbs are typically nicer or just, you know, more convenient and things like that to get than the hotelies. But in the United States, it's annoying. Like, girl, why are you going to Atlanta and get an Airbnb? Please stop listening to me. Because I ain't even, I'm just talking. And then I take a little leftover that's on my blush and put it on my nose. I don't even know if it necessarily shows up a little bit, but y'all are gonna think I'm like a crackhead. But I like to go back in a little bit now that, because like I said, I like to keep a really bright under eye. So now that I have all of that, I like to go in with just a little bit of concealer, because the main character is the fact that my eyes are gonna be bright. I like to highlight my eyes as if I have like pretty green eyes or something, but I think my eyes are one of like my best features. I personally just love my eyes. So when they are super bright, where it's like, and my favorite thing is eye contact. Like I like to make eye contact with people. So I feel like if I make eye contact with you with these bright old eyes, you're gonna fall in love. I feel like falling in love. I mean, I got this drink in my cup. I know y'all think I'm silly because it's like, girl, you've already set with loose powder, but you're insane if you think I'm not gonna go back in with more powder too. See, like you can see the difference. Like my eyes are, I can. I don't know if y'all can see the difference. I know you see it. This was a cute little chit chat in my little introduction back to YouTube. I have so many other fun videos to show y'all. The lashes that I use, I got off of Amazon. I got them on Amazon. I will link them below. They're actually in my storefront. So my lashes are in my storefront. My makeup brushes are in my storefront. My makeup bag is in my storefront. I'm gonna make actually probably an Amazon video because I did a storefront maybe like a month ago and never did the video after I told myself I wanted to do the video. So I'm gonna make a video. And I don't really care about lash or like mascara that much. But I do like to put it on my bottom lashes. So I'm just about to go in really quick. Hold on, because I want to blend out some of this concealer under my eye. But yeah, I'm just gonna go in on my bottom lashes and like lightly just add a little something. But yeah, super pretty, super girly. I will have everything listed down below that I used today, and feel free to comment on any of the things that I talked about in this video. Leave me something fun, leave me something positive in the comments. Let's start a discussion, girl. Make sure you're subscribed, okay? Because a lot of y'all be commenting, a lot of y'all be viewing, but y'all not following me. I'm almost at 400 subscribers, which is so crazy because I haven't made a video in so long. And 397. So let's get to 400 subscribers. Let's get to like 500 if we can. Because I have some really good content coming. I pinky promise. I have some really cute videos coming up. So let's get to 500 subscribers. Let's get to 400 first. Let me not do too much. Thank you to everybody that's already subscribed. If you're not, please subscribe. Let's get to 400. And join the honey crew. And make sure y'all follow me on social media. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's all the same name, HNYBRI. Follow your girl. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. Bye, girl.